Hi, friends. We've taken a lot of time this week to look at what the Apostle Paul has told us in Philippians chapter 4. He reminded us that we can rejoice in God always. He reminded us that God welcomes our prayers because He cares for us and we are to make our needs known to Him. He also promised us His peace, and what a wonderful gift that is. And then yesterday we took a look at how God's presence is very real in our life as we continue to follow Christ as Paul has followed Christ. Today we go one step further and learn about God's provision in Paul's life and in ours. Today is December 7th, 2013, and these are grace moments from my journey home.
Somebody's miracle, 'cause every day we're learning. Life's all about sharing the journey.
As we move through this, what we call a holiday season between Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, it always seems to amaze me how we begin more than any other time in the year to reach out to people that are struggling financially, struggling emotionally, all the different kinds of things that our communities do to come together and support one another. And as we read in Philippians 4, Paul knew both ends of the spectrum, whether it was from having plenty or not having nearly enough. And maybe you're on one of those spectrums or somewhere in between, having enough and not having enough. But Paul has some words of wisdom for us as we continue our study in Philippians chapter 4 today. Listen to the Apostle Paul as we pick up Philippians chapter 4 and verse 11. He says, "Not that I am speaking of being in need, for I have learned in whatever situation I am to be content." What a wonderful word that is, content. "I know how to be brought low, and I know how to abound. In any and every circumstance, I have learned the secret of facing plenty and hunger, abundance and need." And this is the key verse that I want us to hear today. "I can do all things through Him who strengthens me," Paul says. We have said it before, and we will say it time and time again. Grace Moments is about the grace of God, and grace is what God has an abundance of. Friends, we know that God's grace is sufficient for us, whether it's a difficult circumstance, a need that we have, difficulty in our relationships, whatever it is you're facing today, you can be certain that God's provision is certainly complete and certainly enough. His grace is sufficient for you and for me. Just like the Apostle Paul says, "I know what it's like to have plenty and I know what it's like not to have enough. But every situation I have found myself in, there is God right in the middle of it with me." I want you to be careful of that last sentence. Philippians 4:13 is one of those passages that people love to just grab a hold of and say, it doesn't matter what the circumstance is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And they make that almost like an energy source, some kind of a divine pick-me-up, that it doesn't matter what it is, I can do it. And friends, you and I know that there are things that not everyone can do. There are limitations that we have. But be encouraged today that everything that you are made to do, everything that God intends for you to be, is able to be accomplished in the person of Jesus Christ, because He is our strength. Friends, be encouraged with that today. God bless you.
Somebody's miracle, 'cause every day we're learning.